What's up, guys and gals? Out here in the garage today, going to do a little bit of work on the go-karts since the weather isn't cooperating to be riding the bikes today, doing any kind of bike videos. Now this one, the Drift Track, got a new cable in for it. For the throttle, got to run a new cable line on it, and hopefully that one will be ready to rip and roar then. Boy, them sleeves are super thin. I just wanted to do a little update on the go-karts today. Do some, haven't done a video on them in a while, actually, other than that short. And I know I got a lot of new subscribers that probably hasn't even seen these things, so just want to give you a little heads up on what's going on with them and introduce some of them to y'all. You know, there's new people out there, so probably ain't seen it. This is my Bare Metal Beauty. There's that Bell's palsy kicking in. Anyways, I've been working on this build for about a year, and pretty much got her done, except I keep running into this one problem every time I go to test drive it. The chain over here, I built a jack shaft, as you can see right here, because to supplement the weight of the chain being from all the way up here, I already built one, pause on that part, I already built one rear engine go-kart, and she's right over here, the Mo-Kart. And as you can see, I got some things stripped off of it I got to do. But I want to put a rack and pinion on this because, as you can see, that's been butch welded all the heck. And I've had a lot of problems out of it. Broke it several times, which, you know, being a new welder, that's what's going to happen. But anyway, the problem with the rear engine go-kart, and especially an open wheel one, is that sucker will cover you in dirt and grass, as well as the engine. And I want to try a front engine, which kind of basically looks like a regular riding mower, but it's been modified, as you can see. Chopped her down 7 inches, so we set lower, so when you slide around corners, you don't go whoop, bam on your side, you know. Put a rear end out of a, or live axle out of a 50, I believe it was a 50 or an 80 cc Chinese 4-wheeler. Adapted it over to make it fit a riding mower, so I got Rackets of Racing. She has a, I think it's a 32 tooth or something like that, sprocket on it. Disc brakes, got them hooked up. They are sticking right now for some reason. Went with a 10 by 5 rear and, or 10 by 7 rear tire, 5-inch rim, and a 10 by 5 on the front. And the problem I'm having with this jack shaft is we keep hitting, I don't care how much I cut out, you keep hitting the frame here. So what I want to do, I believe, is get me a 30 series torque converter. That should stop right about here. I'll probably have to get rid of this little thing right here, but that's no big deal. 30 series torque converter, which will come out to about right here with a belt drive, going to a sprocket, and then run my chain from the sprocket straight down to the rear axle, down there. That should eliminate the drag on that chain. And every time, I've taken it out a couple times with this setup, and I had to change the gearing in the back because the sucker would just pop wheelies like crazy. So I changed the gearing to a smaller sprocket in the back to take some of that takeoff torque out. Too much, at least with those and not sleeves on them. So that's where we stand on this dude. This summer ought to be awesome with this thing. We've got a 6.75, I don't know how they figure that equation, but 6.75 Intech Briggs & Stratton on there. He even stripped the paint off the engine cover there so we can, you know, match it up a little bit better. But went with the 21 millimeter carb. Had to adapt it over to fit the Briggs & Stratton. No big deal. Added the go-kart gas pedal. Went with the, this is actually the pull arm off of the wheel barrel. The wheel barrel. This was the arm that comes out of the wheel barrel. Made this my, basically my drift handle is what that is. That's the rake. And, you know, she pulls on that cable right there, goes back to this brake pad. So I may have a little wind, and that's the reason my brake is sticking on this one, so I don't know. We'll see. The The Mocart, I took the bottom off of a regular lawnmower, as you can see, and I stripped her off all the way down and added a subframe to it to stiffen it all up, because this sucker is like a it's like a miniature car on nitrous. I mean, seriously, it will shoot sideways on you on a heartbeat, in a heartbeat. And live axle, of course, solid live axle, and which I cut the freaking keyways and everything into. I got a video on that if you guys want to go back and check it out. Don't recommend doing that, you guys. Take and have it done. So this kart, though, is so much fun. And I've got plenty of videos of it going around the drift track over there at my buddy Barry's. Throttle's up here on the handle. I didn't have any brakes because it had sleeves on the back of it at the time. Made a little throttle here. This is just a lawnmower handle that I got, steering wheel that I just, chopped it off, make it look like a paddle steering wheel. And, just like my car, I gotta have a push bar on the front of it. So that's the plans for the Mocart. That's gonna bring you guys up to speed as far as the go-karts go. I am talking about building a new drift trike, one that's shorter. The problem with this drift trike when I built it is I made her a little too long. And, this was my very first build 3 years ago from scratch. That's the front end of a Huffy 24-inch mountain bike, and the rest of it I built from angle iron. So, buddy gave me my racing street seat. Got another one just like it. Might as well put it on another drift track. Got the 6.5 rigs from Pressure Washer. You guys see them pressure washers for sale. You got to snag them suckers up, because those have some powerful engines. Those are made to run wide open constantly and put out the high torque. And so I went with that one, and as well as this one. That's off of a pressure washer too. Rarely used, actually. So snagged that up for 25 bucks on the marketplace. Can't beat that, boys. Anywho, went with that's an 18mm carb on this one. Straight through exhaust. She will blow flames straight out that pipe. I'm serious, I ain't kidding. And went with a 26-inch fork on the front, suspension fork. And I'd like to get a disc brake, because that rim brake does very little to slow this thing down. Well, I don't think a disc would do no better. It'd probably just push that front tire right on down through the road. So anyways, that's the plans with the go-karts and the drift trikes. Now, you guys stick around. This summer, these are definitely going to be showing up more on videos now that the weather's finally arrived for the go-kart season, as well as, my other 3 or 4 motorized bicycles that I got. And next Monday, be watching for a video coming out. I plan on going out to the proving grounds and going for a cruise on them out there with the motorized bikes. So until then, you guys, be good to each other and ride safe.